Welcome to Ask an Innovator. My name is Cole Snell. I will be your host today. Ask an Innovator has one mission: to dive deep into the mind, body, and soul of innovation. Today's guest, Tracy Barry, will help me unravel one of my great obsessions to answer the question, is business an art, or is the art the business? Tracy, being both an artist and an entrepreneur, is here today to help peel back the layers involving innovation. Welcome to the show, Tracy. Let's get right into it. Are you a business owner or an artist, or is that even a fair question?
It's a fair question. I think that many artists struggle between both sides of that bridge. I think that it's important to bring the two together. I think that I am first a creative and inspired mind, and then it goes into how do I turn that into a business, and then it's the people you surround yourself with.
Amazing.
Help you with that.
You have an amazing business in Thunder Bay. Well, you kind of have three businesses in Thunder Bay, and all three involve art.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So, would you consider yourself an art curator, an art gallery owner? How would you an artist? What would be the one bullet point you would describe yourself as?
A creative person.
A creative person. Amazing.
I guess that works.
Totally.
Yeah, because then that can fall under so many other umbrellas. I can do anything and I can stem anywhere just by saying I'm a creative.
Good. It's open-ended.
It's open-ended.
It gives you a lot of room.
Yes.
A lot of flexibility.
I think you need to do that. I think that you speak about, you'll probably be talking about innovation in a little while.
Right.
You speak about that, and I think that we keep it open-ended, and I think that's what an innovative person does, a successful person does.
It creates the opportunity to be creative.
Yes.
In a lot of ways.
Yes.
You're not kind of literally, excuse the pun, because we're going to be talking about art. You're not painting yourself into a corner.
Exactly. Yes. Right. I love that pun. That was amazing.
Right. That was not rehearsed. That's not on this piece of paper right here at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So with all three of my businesses, I definitely incorporate just being a creative person and being comfortable within that. So it's important to be open-minded and to forgive yourself for being that way, because I think a lot of people think we have to fall within, a square box and do what everyone else is doing. But what I like to, with all three, with the Creative Art Gallery, I'm gonna plug it in here.
Creative Art Gallery, the Nest Studio.
Yes.
And Painting Party Thunder Bay.
Yes.
Three art-related businesses.
Yes.
Algoma Street is where we have the Creative Art Gallery.
Yes, with my two business partners, Dina Kruger and Steve Giroux.
Awesome.
That's awesome because I'm bringing a lot of resources to myself. So now that inspired thought has just expanded and boomed. I'm able to help, but I'm able to take in at the same time in one location. Right. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's a hip location. I mean, Thunder Bay has got a real kind of a downtown core happening now. You're at the Bay Algoma district. What is it like to operate a business in the Bay Algoma Center?
Oh, it's bustling there. Yeah. There's always there's new people every day. There's new people coming in and out of that building and down the street. I can go outside and say hello to anybody, and they want to know what's inside, what's in those windows. I mean, people are curious on that street. As far as all of the businesses there and the owners, such a friendly community, just welcoming. Because we were the newbies. I didn't know what the heck to expect from others, because I wanted to learn so much, and you want to reach out. And they embraced us wonderfully. It was a warm welcome.
The Bay Algoma region of, say, Port Arthur, Thunder Bay, we kind of still live in the world of Port Arthur and Fort William, sometimes here in Thunder Bay. Do you think that Thunder Bay is a good place to run a business?
Yeah, I do.
What are some of the pros and cons?
The pros and cons? Good question. Well, I tend to look for locations and cities to live in that are very rich in the arts, because you know that creative people are there, you know that innovators are there, you know you can reach out and ask somebody, hey, this is my vision, can you help me find solutions for one or two things that I'm not strong in, and they're very welcoming and eager. Thunder Bay, we're very eager to help each other and to tell each other, hey, this is what I know, this is my specialty. Right. And we're not shy about it. And then I think if there were a challenge, it would be, I'm trying to think. I don't think my life in challenges, in the way that you would think normally. A challenge is a positive thing.
Right.
So I'm still smiling when I say, okay, what are challenges in a business? I'm like, bring them on, let's do this. So I would just say that, you know, there's people coming and going, and there's a lot of travelers through. We do thrive when, you know, tourists do come through Thunder Bay, and we need to bring more traffic here. We need to bring more. We need to let people know outside of Thunder Bay, hey, we're the place to come.
You sound like a classic entrepreneur, not being able to find a problem or a challenge, and if you do, it sounds like you look at it as an opportunity to build and or to grow.
Yes, yeah, very much. Yeah.
Sure. Often what entrepreneurs do is they find a problem and entrepreneurial add a solution and hopefully can make some money from that solution.
Yeah, and I can tell that you're excited and passionate about it too, because your eyes are getting wider and wider, like, yes,
no,
and that's how I get as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And I think entrepreneur mindsets, we would get each other.
Sure.
I have others in my life that potentially don't understand exactly where I'm going. They're supportive, but they're like, I don't understand what the end result is, but I trust that you do somehow.
That's right. Some people like to coin their businesses as solution based. In a lot of ways, entrepreneurs really coin themselves as problem based in a lot of ways, because we can't have solutions without problems.
Exactly. You need the two. You need what is that? The
yin
and the yang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, amazing. So are you from Thunder Bay?
Originally, I'm actually from Rossport.
Oh, Rossport. All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's a beautiful location.
Sure.
It's probably why I paint a lot of landscapes.
Yeah.
So, you know, I went to elementary school in Scriber. Terrace Bay was my high school. I did come to back and forth to Thunder Bay. And then I traveled Canada from St. Vic all the way to Vancouver, BC.
Coast to coast.
Yeah, coast to coast. There's a couple of other places I need to go and see.
Sure.
I'm not as traveled as I'd like to be. Or
Let's take it back to Rossport a
Yeah,
little bit.
sure.
Rossport is amazing. And for those that don't know, Rossport is a couple hours down the highway towards Scriber, I guess, would be the main town. There's a long history of art in Rossport, and there's still today an interesting movement of art in Rossport.
Yeah.
What's the population of Rossport?
120 people,
120
I think, on a good
people.
day.
You're right.
And I live on the island, Nickel Island.
Nickel Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think there's 25 lots on the island.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite artists comes from Nickel Island in
Rossport.
Rossport.
Yeah.
This would be Tim Alexander. Right.
And his wife is an amazing artist as well, and his children are amazing artists as well.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal potter.
Yeah.
So we grew up with them as well. Douglas Hunt is up there too. If you, I'll show you some of his work too. He's
another artist from Rossport.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, Tim Alexander is very, very talented.
And also quite entrepreneurial.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Of the
I try to pick his brain when I see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Good
do.
idea.
I'm like, oh, Tim, hi, do you have a couple minutes? But no, he's a busy man, and he's everywhere. I think his name's very well known now.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. So do you think being from a town of 128 people has anything to do with your entrepreneurial zest?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm stumped a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I will tell you.
I'm here to stump you. Yeah.
I will tell you that, and I always throw this out there, it's my only thing that's interesting about me. I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers.
Okay. 6 sisters and 4 brothers.
And
I'm going to throw
That's
probably the most interesting thing about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I tend to think there's a lot more interesting about you. So I'll use that as a segue to throw to commercial. We're going to be right back with Tracy Barry. We're going to find out that there's probably a few more layers, probably a few more interesting things other than having this dynamic, large family. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ask an Innovator. Off camera, Tracy was telling me the best entrepreneurial story. So I'm not even going to just even ask her the question. I'll just suggest that she share what she shared with us off camera. It was awesome. So an entrepreneurial story, fire away. It's awesome.
Yeah. So 6 sisters, 4 brothers. So I was saying to you how I know every kind of personality there is out there. But also, there were so many of us that when I had these sparked ideas, I had a team. So I used to have my younger sister, my younger brother, sit on a wagon, and my other siblings and myself would paint all these rocks. And we walked through Rossport. Some of you in Rossport probably remember this. Walked through Rossport singing and selling painted rocks for 25 cents.
And how many were in your clan altogether?
Yeah, there was 9 in the house at a time.
9 in a house, yeah. And how many of them were you employing? So you're employing
about 4 of us.
Yeah, contracting out your brothers and sisters.
Well, no, I never gave them any of them.
Painting rock. You didn't give them. You kept the money.
I was babysitting.
Yeah. Right. This may come back to haunt you. You never know. So you're the now you had 9 and 6. You have 15 siblings. Is that am I doing?
There's 11 children.
Okay, 11 children.
Yes.
Right, and you are
number 9.
Number 9. Oh, right. I remember when we were talking. We played the Beatles song, Number 9.
That's a phenomenal song. That's the first time I'd heard that.
Yeah, perfect. Number
awesome.
9. Good. So, usually in the second segment of the show, we like to talk kind of the spirituality, something I know you can talk a little bit about, some of the emotional stuff that goes into being an entrepreneur. Right off the bat, before we get into that, and as a kind of a precursor, how would you define an artist?
How would I define an artist? Well, it's always very hard for us artists to define ourselves sometimes as a definition or who we are or what we are. Often the public kind of decides that for us and how they perceive us. What I would say an artist is, it can take any form, any shape, any creative or inspired thought that you act on is an artistry in itself. So that's definitely would be a short definition and very open, an open window on that one.
Often on the show, as you know, we love quotes. So I'm going to give you 2 quotes. I'm going to give you one from Michelangelo, and then I'm going to quote you. I'm going to follow a Michelangelo quote with a Tracy Barry quote.
Wow.
Michelangelo, the most common money-related mistakes artists make is a reluctance to invest in their own careers. All right? Yeah. I'm going to follow that with a Tracy Barry quote. This is something you said to me, actually. I describe myself as an interpretive artist and look deeper into the meaning and messages within the artistry.
Yes.
You are interesting because you've seemed to make a career. You're learning how to make money from art. You do interpretive art.
Yes.
Talk to me about interpretive art.
Absolutely. Definitely other people have definitions of what interpretive art is, but as an interpretive artist, I look deeper into the paintings. So a couple different things that I do is I kind of create my images sporadically. So I use various tools that will take my control away, like plastic wrap. I'm not creating rocks or scenery by planning it out. I'm actually creating plastic wrap. I'm using plastic wrap to create an image and allowing that image to appear to me. So using and stretching my creative mind and being, how do I explain it? You know how you can blur your eyes to those images that are all scattered, and it shows you something? Well, that's what I do with my art.
Amazing.
And at that point, and like life will throw things at you and show you symbols in life.
Right.
It's now up to my physical and emotional being to decide what belongs on my canvas or in my life,
right,
and what I want to choose to not have there on that day.
Right.
So then I take the control afterwards, and I paint the painting I want to.
Amazing.
After these images appear to me.
So would you be able to, if I painted something, would you be able to interpret what I was painting? So you gave me a canvas and some paint, 10 minutes to put something down. Would you be able to give me some thoughts as to, or a reading, so to speak? A reading? Is that what it is? A reading.
Yes,
Great,
yeah,
great.
absolutely. I do this in my painting parties. It just gives another element to experiencing art. A lot of people have a hard time purchasing art. This comes into a little bit of business as well. Purchasing art because sometimes they're not sure how to express why they like the art.
Right.
And so when you bring it into your home and you're hosting guests, they want to know, why did you buy that? So this allows people to be attached to an artwork or the artistry or the paints or the colors in such a way that they have something to talk about. It becomes a conversation piece.
Right.
So that's one element of why I do it. Now, when I do it, I take a look at, and I've had some experience with other artists who do this as well, and they work with various different lifestyles of people. So troubled youth, homelessness, they're going into Canadian Mental Health, and they're doing these kind of readings for people. And I wanted to take it to the general public and whoever was open to it.
Amazing.
So what I'm doing with you is I'm looking from the left to the right. So sometimes when you paint something on the right, you're looking forward to it or you're scared of it in your future.
Right.
Something you might be hesitant on might end up in the middle of your canvas.
Oh, wow.
Depending on the colors you use, can be a happy creative color or could be a controlling stopper color.
Wow.
So it's about your own hands taking your subconscious and creating it before you. And a lot of people don't realize that what you do, whether you turn left or right that day, whether that kind of thing, you don't realize it actually has a message coming back to you from you.
Sure it does. And now, does this kind of bridge into art therapy a little bit?
It does. I'm not an art therapist.
Right.
But I always have to say that. I never took art therapy.
Yeah, but art therapy is a legitimate form of therapy.
And
it's practiced
suggest
in institutions around the world.
I think everyone should do it. I think we should be at birth prescribed an art therapist as a doctor for us. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think I agree. I mean, I think that there's a lot of merit to that. And now there are, do you ever cross paths with art therapists at all?
Actually, my brother-in-law, his sister is an art therapist.
Yeah.
Has worked in, I can't remember the names, but worked in some pretty interesting jails in Ontario.
Really?
And has done it that way and has been making a great career out of it.
Yeah.
She's a very humbling person. She's amazing.
That is really interesting. I'm sure she has a great story to tell.
She does.
Yeah.
She doesn't live here though. I'll bring her in.
Sure. We'd love to have her. You said something really interesting. You alluded to the fact that some people, when they're buying art, are hesitant to make the purchase, even though they may have the funds to buy the art, because they're almost intimidated once it's hanging on their wall in their home to describe it to friends and family.
Yes.
As a business person, how do you give them the confidence to move forward and collect that piece that they really want to have for their own expression?
I remind them of their pride. I remind them of their individuality. I like to remind everyone that the people that you're presenting yourself to, whether it be physical or emotional, and when you're interacting with them, they're going to accept you for all that you are and what you hang on your walls.
Wow. Do you actually say that to your customers?
Yeah, I mean, I have some pretty deep conversations with my customers.
Does that close the deal? Do they open their wallets and buy the art after that?
Art's another thing too. I mean, well, yes, it has closed the deal. I will confidently say that.
I would buy art based on that closing line.
Thank you.
Great.
But I mean, it's honestly, it's if you love it, buy it.
Right.
Take it home. This is an extension of you
people
now.
Are really worried what other people think, even when it comes to their choice in art.
I think we all, even myself, where I place myself out there and I, somewhat preach about not allowing that to happen to you, right? I still do. I still did my hair today and wore nice clothing, I still care. I want to present myself in such a way. And it's the same with your home, right? So is it an open concept home or, is your couch facing the door or is it facing the TV? What's, and then where's your art?
Amazing. Right? We're going from feng shui. We're talking about the emotional aspects of art, of business. It's amazing. Tracy's fantastic. We're going to go to commercial. We're going to come right back and we're going to talk a little bit more about the business aspects of art, and Tracy's going to give us a few tips. Stay right with us. Thank you. Welcome back to Ask an Innovator, here with Tracy Barry, art entrepreneur, business person, and a creative type. So talking a little bit more about the business, I have a Henry Ford quote here, and believe it or not, Henry Ford had a lot to say about a lot of things. I am rather like a traveling salesman. I deal in ideas. I do much more for people than just paint them pictures. What do you take from that?
I love it.
Yeah.
What do I take from that? Yeah, I think that everyone needs to be aware that you do more than you actually think you're doing in an interaction with people. So for him to say, I do more for people than just paint them pictures, I think that's how we need to live our lives. I would want to do more for people than just offer them art.
Right.
Right? I want to offer them I want insight. I want to provoke thought. I want to get them, creatively working on their own in any aspect of it. Art is many different things, as we know, right? It's, it's pottery. It's internet building. It's or website building. Internet. Oh,
Sure.
not technical.
You're good. Let's jump off onto that though. We're going to talk a
Okay.
little bit about the marketing. You said internet, you said website. How do you market your business? Are you a big social media person, or are you more of a print person?
I'm becoming more social media, and I started, the Nest Studio, which is where I just kind of started selling my artwork in hopes to get a physical location. My sister said, you gotta get a Facebook page up there. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know what I'm doing. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
and who wants to see, my stuff? I'm just gonna go door to door.
Right.
And she said, no, you have to do this. So I've been really playing with it. Also, I went to school in business marketing
Yep.
in the college. That helped a lot. So now, the way that I interact and respond and get to know people other than my gallery, The Creative, is on social media.
Right.
It's a time where people can see a little bit deeper into my home, in my Nest home studio, and be able to get to know me. And I think that's really key, is being able to engage and let people see your authentic self. I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah. Out of 10, how important would you say social media plays as a role in marketing your business?
Now, I do think it's up there, like an 8 or 9.
Right.
Like it's up there.
So based on that, how much time per day or how much time per week would you spend on your phone, or it's usually on your phone, plugging away at social media?
Oh my goodness, it's evil.
Right. Or is it?
Often.
Really?
I know.
It's necessary.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse sometimes. I really try hard to have set hours where I will go online, but my phone does go off, and I want to be able to be on the end of it for others.
Right.
I tend to live for others, is my personality. So, okay, hours wise, a day, I'd say the majority of the day I have my phone with me. I'd say I'd pull a good 10-hour shift on my phone.
Sure. Per week.
Oh, per week, no,
Per day. 10 hours per day.
I know.
On your phone.
Is that bad?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's necessary.
Okay.
I believe it's
How?
the. It's
What
the,
about you?
I'm the same.
Okay.
It's the way we have to. What would be a great idea is if on phones
Yeah.
there was a little red or a green light that we had would allow people to know while you were on it if you were working or playing.
Oh, that's
right?
a really good idea. That's an innovative idea.
I think because so many people judge us thinking, oh, you're on your phone all the time. You're gratuitously checking your own Facebook. But business owners today, in this day and age, do you not agree? We have to be glued to our
I thought of
phones.
putting like a little flag up,
like at work.
At work, but
Yeah,
I
not
mean
at play.
the light is a lot better than the
flag. The flag would work too. Yeah.
No, that's great. Let's go into business together and let's make that happen.
We'll call Mac or Apple and see what they can do.
Yeah, we gotta get a what is that called?
An
copyright?
App? A copyright. Yes.
An app.
Of course. So all this time on social media, what do you do to decompress? How do you get away from the office? How do you get away from your phone?
Oh, I think I found, getting away from the phone, I found 2 solutions to this social media thing and being on our phone. One is that I take time every evening to actually paint. So I now set up.
You paint every evening?
I try.
Amazing.
I also have an exhibition coming up, so it is like hammer
Pressure's
time.
on.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
And so with technology, I've set up my phone and I paint with everyone now.
Wow.
And they ask me questions, and I learn more because I have to now think about the questions they're asking me. I have to think of the answers.
So you set up your phone so you're painting on FaceTime? Or?
On Facebook Live,
Facebook Live.
Live Facebook, yeah.
Wow.
And I just said, okay, you know what? Instead of being detached, everyone's going to see that, hey, this is another part of my job. If I don't answer you, I'm still working. I'm painting.
Right.
This is me time, but I'm going to allow you into my space.
Right.
So that's solution number 1.
Practicing what you preach.
Yes. Solution number 2 is I basically end up not charging my phone. So I resist the urge to plug my phone into the wall and charge it. If it dies, hey, it's dead. I can't go on to
Interesting technique.
Yes.
Well, That's you could just throw it in the lake, I guess.
Well, no, because I'd go.
You'd have to go after and get it,
I'm
right?
not
Or
the
buy a
best
new
swimmer.
one. Yeah, that's
So-
not ideal.
But yeah, I just try not to. If it dies, it dies. If it doesn't, I feel like that's life's way of saying maybe I forgot something or need to contact someone. But if it dies, then I need to take that as a signal that, hey, maybe life is telling me I need time for me.
Sure. One of my favorite questions, what piece of advice would you offer those who are looking to break out of a mundane job, something that they don't enjoy, something that does not inspire them? What courageous tip or what can you share to inspire these people to go and pursue an income based on what they love to do?
Yeah, that's a great question. The advice I would give it has a long explanation, but a very short and sweet sentence. So here we go. Is to embrace your story. So what you're doing today doesn't need to be tomorrow, but you do need to embrace who you are today and your story of how you got here. So embrace your story and follow your passions.
Do you believe that what you like to do and what you're good at are one and the same?
Not always.
No.
Yeah, not always. I think that some people are fantastic at many, many different things. And what they like and their passion and what brings more awesome stuff out of them can kind of get lost in what they're really, really good at.
Yeah.
So I think that's why you need to kind of reflect on oneself, have, what do you call that? Hold on, emotional intelligence to understand when you're at a high frequency or a lower frequency and the people who are around you. You might be really good at something, but the people around you aren't inspiring you to do more with it.
Amazing.
Yeah, think about those
Talking
things.
to you today, I feel more emotionally intelligent, and I'm sure our viewers do as well. I have a Margaret Thatcher quote to leave on. Usually
But I
kind
love
of
these
segue.
quotes.
So Margaret Thatcher has to say, "Deals are my art form. Other people paint beautiful on canvas or write wonderful poetry. I like making deals, preferably big deals. That's how I get my kicks." You've kicked me up. You've kickstarted my day. Our message, and I can speak on behalf of Tracy, is to go out, open up a business,
Yes.
contribute to our community. Tracy, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.